Welcome everybody. This is week 5. Can you believe week 5 of the worldwide shutdown of everything? Whether it was a good idea or not, we don't know yet, but we're hoping it was. So we're going to get looking at some shots right now of close-ups. We're going to get in and play with our food. We're going to get real close and see what it looks like. Up close and personal. Our first shot is by Anders Ericsson. Beautiful shot. Wait till you see how he lit it. You're going to love this. Beautiful shot. Look at the beautiful highlights on the raspberries and the blueberries in here. Great old surface that he's gotten here with a little bit of scratches and stuff. So much texture. The wet is very shiny and it offsets all the very rough texture of the background. So we have these little shiny drops and then the very rough and gritty texture of the background. Let's look at his next image here. He actually came in closer for this one, coming way in. We see scratches, we see these shapes, the color, the blueberries, the raspberries. So much interest in this photograph. Notice how he plays with line. We got this line that goes through the pictures this way. We've got a line that comes down this way and over. We've got this center raspberry, a little bit of space around him, almost setting him off as our hero here, almost, but this raspberry being larger does seem to dominate. It's very, very beautiful composition by Anders Ericsson. Here's how he lit it. Just a snoot. Just a little bit of a snoot, adding some light here. What we have here with the big gridded softbox is the ambient light. Anders is using this big softbox to provide his ambient light and then using this snoot to provide just that little catch light on everything. Let's go back and look at the shot. The ambient is keeping our shadows lit, keeping everything in here nice and pretty, and then that very bright snoot is just coming in and giving us those very bright highlights. Really a beautiful way to light. Anders Ericsson. Next up is Lily Dale. Lily's photograph of Okra is iconic. I mean, it's just like, wow, these great big giant vegetables standing here, proudly. Lily's used a little bit of an up angle at them, and that gives us a new view of the okra. We don't usually see them standing up, for one thing, and we don't see them shot from below. They're not very large vegetables, or I don't know if they're vegetable or a fruit. They're not very large, so we don't usually see them from a lower angle. So right off the bat, with the low angle, Lily has created a very interesting situation here. Beautiful composition. Look at the light catching all of the texture through here. And then very, very importantly, the little kick light right over here, right on that edge, to help this okra be part of the group. We don't want the okra over here to just drift off into the blackness. How did she do it? She put a white piece of paper and black piece of paper back here, bounced the light off the paper. And then when she shot it, she has a little fill card right over here that's not in the picture. A little card right in here just to bounce some light back from there. Very simply done. Bouncing light into white cards or paper, folks, is a time-honored tradition. All you need to light is a speed light or a light and a piece of whiteboard, and you can do amazing things. The whiteboard just simply acts as a softbox does, except that you can control where the light hits it. Where a softbox is flat light from one corner to the other, a white card with a light, you can create a brighter area on the card by moving the light in closer to one part of the card, or you can pull it back and make the light from the card very flat. like a softbox, whatever you want to do. But it's a really great way to light. Just a beautiful, beautiful way to light. All right, next up is some beautiful fruits from Lisa Narduzzi. We've got 2 fully formed fruits and a bunch of cut fruits. Lisa is taking great care with all the colors here to really present these nicely. And I think one of the most important things when you're shooting cut fruit like this is you've got to have these highlights in it. The fruit will dry out very quickly. And so to keep it fresh, you either have to cut it fresh or keep a little bit of something to make those wet. Maybe a paintbrush with a little bit of, squeeze a little bit of the lemon juice and orange juice into a tiny bowl and then just brush it on just before you shoot. But look how beautiful the red grapefruit looks. Look how beautiful this lemon looks. They look fresh. Lisa also came in closer. Look at that. Look at the beautiful freshness in the cut fruits here. Beautifully cut, perfectly cut, by the way. If you're going to cut them, you've got to make sure that they are perfectly cut. The leaves coming through here, giving us a little bit of interest through it. It's a lovely composition. Boom, boom. We got lines this way. We got lines this way. It's just a really nice composition, and it's beautifully lit with a single diffuser and a window. So the 5-in-1 diffuser is in front of a window. The light is coming in so softly, and Lisa has used a large white card to the left. Just keep these shadows from going too black. Let's look at the main shot again. See, we still have shadows. We still have shape. You must have shadow and light, okay? Unless you're making a photograph that is particularly flat for a particular reason, you must have shadow and light. So we have our highlights here, we have our highlights through here, and we've got our shadows back here. But notice little things like, I love little things, like we've got this beautiful highlight on the lemon, and then it starts to go dark, and then just as the curve of the lemon comes around, that curve, angle of incidence, angle of reflection, that curve picks up this little white card here, and the orange at the top picks up this white card here. Isn't that beautiful? Just lovely. I like pineapple. My daughter likes pineapple on pizza. I still don't know where she came from, but she does. Pineapple. We like pineapple in our family, but I've never really looked at a pineapple this close. Julie Leroux did and decided to make a photograph out of it. It's just nature in a spectacular way. Julie's light's giving us all the gloss of these I don't know, we'd call them little designs, I guess, on the side of the pineapple. Never really looked at them that close before, but they're beautiful. And Julie's light, very simply, a white card. Julie's shooting from right about here. So she's got light coming from the left, and she's got a big white card right in here, and the rest of it's just natural window light. Let's go back and look at it. Isn't that gorgeous? Window from the left, white card from the right. Filling in shadows, giving us definition. It's really, really nice. Julie Leroux's beautiful pineapple. Julie also shot some strawberries for us. In beautiful and close. Very, very carefully picking out strawberries with nice tops to them. I think I might even tell Julie to fix a little of these things up here to make it perfect. But it's a lovely, lovely tight shot. Interesting lighting. If I told you it was coming from a window, you might think the window's behind her. But no. The window's actually behind the strawberries. And Julie is lighting the strawberries up with 2 little white V cards in close. And that's it. Lots of light coming from the window, the backlight, and then the light up front is Julie's little V cards. Isn't that stunning? It's just stunning. Easy, easy, easy peasy. Just remember, you want a feeling of where the light's coming from, whether it's coming from the side or the back or the top back or the top side or whatever. You want a feeling where the light's coming from. And to do that, you have to have a big light source. And then to do you have to have some kind of light source. I shouldn't say a big light source, but some kind of light source. And then you're going to have shadow. But if you let the shadow just go this dark, it may not be all that interesting. You may have to add a little bit of something to the shot. And that's where Julie's white cards come in, making a beautiful, beautiful photograph. Now, the exposure on this is too dark. On this picture that we're looking at right here, the exposure is correct here. She's exposing for this lighting. She's exposing for the lighting from the white card. She's not exposing for the lighting from the window. Rose Smith decided we needed to see gummy worms in a whole new way. So she gave us gummy worms with a little bit of spray of water. Just gummy worms. And then she decided that, we really need to get in even closer with the gummy worms. I don't know about you, but I do like gummy worms. I've never looked at a gummy worm this closely before. They're kind of creepy. But look at the beautiful light. She's using a reflective surface. She's using a strong backlight. You see the strong backlight coming through here? Look at the highlights. Strong backside light, actually. And what she's using is a kind of what we call dark field lighting. And that is, this is a softbox, and she's put up a big black card in the middle of it. That's her background, the dark. The light then comes around both sides and lights up the gummy bears from both sides. It gives a beautiful, interesting lighting style. She's shooting them on a mirror, and this is what we end up with. Light from the left, light from the right, back up here, right light, left light, you see it? That's these two guys here. It's black field, dark field lighting, whatever you want to call it, dark field lighting or black field lighting. It's up to you. It's a tremendously beautiful light to use on some things. Works really great on stemware. Works well on food and other things. Give it a shot. I think you might like it. Really, really, really clever. Next up is Karen Harris in a persimmon. Up close and personal. Karen's lighting, and I really, really like this shot. It's very, very neat. I don't know what this is back up here. When I first looked at the shot, I must say that annoyed me, but it grew on me very much because it does give, there's a base to the picture that without it, I think it would be a different picture. I don't want to say it would be better because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that at all. I don't know if it would be better, but it was different, and I really ended up liking this shot a lot. Very, very simple lighting. Gonna love this. She's got her strobe coming through a little scrim right there. It comes through the scrim, hits the persimmon and lights up this white card. She's put a dark card over here to control the light falling off there. Let's go back and look at the shot. She's created the dark. She's created that from the big white bounce, and that's the hard light coming right straight through the scrim. Notice how close she's got her light to the scrim. So the scrim really isn't acting too soft here. It's still a fairly small light source with a quick fall off because of the scrim material, but she's right up next against it with her strobe. So it gives a pretty shiny reflection on that persimmon because the persimmon is kind of shiny. All right, let's go to Tammy Bogestrand's great shot of pasta. Pasta. She looked at the pasta and she said, "This is interesting. This is really interesting." And it's like a wheat or some sort of grain pasta. It's not white pasta. It's grainy. She wanted to pull out the grain. So she created a graphic view of this pasta. I'm crazy about it. I just think it's a wonderful shot. Tammy's a wonderful photographer. Talk about showing us something we haven't seen before. This is it. I think this would make an incredible print in a restaurant. I could see a whole series of black and white pasta shots shot this close. I could see the same thing shot with white pasta. I could see it shot with green pastas. All the different types of pastas could be a really amazing thing. I think Tammy went on and did a series of them, but I don't have access to them. If she did, this is how she did it. Window light up here, giving her a little bit of an overall ambient, and then using a silver cakeboard reflector there, a little flag there, and a big whiteboard over here. It's kind of an interesting setup when you see it. There's window light above this black curtain that you see here. So the window light above is lighting everything up. You can see the room is lit up. It's got a lot of ambient light. And she's just kicking a little light from over here. Let's go back and look at the shot. Can you see the kicked light? Can you see it? It's right in there. Just a little bit of kicked light coming off that silver reflector. It's really, really awesome. I got an email a couple weeks ago about one of the shots that we looked at, and the person who sent me the email said, well, couldn't you do that in Photoshop or Lightroom? And the answer is, well, yeah, of course. You can do pretty much anything in Lightroom and Photoshop these days. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like 2 or 3 years from now. But that's not the point. The point is, now if we go into Photoshop or Lightroom, we're just enhancing near perfection rather than trying to fix it. You may choose to do whichever one you want, but I know that the thrill of photography for me is capturing the image and doing it the best way I can in camera. Then once it's caught in camera, the best way I can catch it, best way, then we can move it over to Lightroom, Photoshop, and tweak it and change it, alter the color, all kinds of things. But I like to get them right in the photo, right in the camera. So here we have Tammy Bogestron, Karen Harris's Persimmon, Gummy Bears by Rose Smith, more Gummy Bears from Rosanna, strawberry, beautiful strawberry with window light, a pineapple with window light, some cut fruits with window light and a diffuser. And I should stop here for a second. This window back here could be a softbox as well. As a matter of fact, that could just be a softbox there totally. Or it could be a scrim with a speed light behind it or a strobe behind it. It really doesn't matter. It's the scrim that becomes the light source, not whatever's behind it. Incredible shot of Okra by Lily Dale. And of course, Anders Ericsson's beautiful raspberries and blueberries. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and I really, really look forward to seeing the work that you put up. Have a great one, and we will see you on the review.